So I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. Basically, our teachers were a bunch of hippies, hired because of a teaching shortage, according to my mother. So here's the beginning of my high school career. We're in an auditorium about this size. And back then, some of you of my age recall that they had these overhead projectors, right? So the guy comes in and he gets out a pen. So I'm gonna draw like a dot here. Now I want you to imagine like this is a bug, okay? And he starts drawing this circle, and as the circle's going around the screen, so like if the bug makes a full lap around the circle, that, man, is revolution. So we're going to talk today about revolution. So we are going to talk about revolution today, but it's not revolution about this weird California stuff. It's talking about making a revolution with your career.
He's funny, he's engaging, and it was productive, which to me is just extremely valuable.
I love the interaction, I love the engagement, I love the energy.
One of the keys to influencing other people is to understand what motivates them. You've got to understand their emotional drivers. Let me give you an example on how somebody influenced me. Now, I spent 17 years at a technology research company called Gartner, and I ran sales training for 5 years. So my job was not only to educate the sales force, but to motivate them to overcome all that rejection they get and to sell enough so that they made their quota. And one of the programs we put in place, which many sales forces have, is called Winner's Circle. Some people call that President's Club. It's an annual incentive trip so that if the salesperson makes their annual number, they get to go to the fun places. The head of worldwide sales had like 4 or 5 invitations that every year he could give to people that he felt worked extra hard to get the sales force making their number. And so one year he said, the next trip is going to be a safari in Kenya, Africa. Oh my God, man, I gotta go to this. And so I did everything I could to help the salespeople make their number. I had the boss over for dinner, we put in air conditioning, we repainted, and I got an invitation to go to Africa. And I'm pumped. About a week later, he calls me into his office. He's Roger. Thank you so much for all you did to help our sales force get to its number. We set a record. And he said, you did such a good job. More people qualified to go to Winner's Circle than we have seats for. It's like we're oversold, like the airline. And then he said, now you can still go. You're welcome to come. The invitation's still good. Let me just walk you through a couple things you might want to think about. Now this is where the influencing came in. He had studied. He knew me better than I knew myself. And then he said, now I don't know if you know it or not, but did you read the paperwork? You need to get immunized. So I said, well, how many shots do I have to get? He said, well, I put together a list just in case. Hepatitis, typhoid, cholera, yellow fever, rabies, meningitis, chickenpox, shingles. Now you may be up to date with your influenza, so you could skip that one. And so now I'm whirling. See how he's influencing me? He's getting into my emotions.
Yes, he gave us the information, but he also kept us entertained and lived and upbeat, and made it easy for us to kind of retain the information and kept us really excited about what was going on.